Thank you again for speaking with me. Thank you for finding me and looking at me recording and trying to catch all of this. Is amazing turnout. I've been to this a couple of times, and you get lots of you're half full. I went to German Car Week. A lot was, maybe this side was full. No, I mean we were in the overflow. So this is amazing. This is phenomenal. But anyways, go ahead and state your name and tell me your ride. What are we looking at?
So my name is Joe Wells. I have a 1995 Mitsubishi 3000 GT Spyder VR-4.
And you've mentioned it's completely bone stock. It's a beautiful convertible. Why this car? What made you fall in love with it? And can you tell us the driving experience?
So I kind of fell in love with this car when I was back in high school in the mid-'90s. And, I couldn't afford one at the time. And then when you actually can be able to afford one, these are so hit or miss because either beat to hell or just like completely immaculate. So I just bit the bullet, got one that was completely immaculate, and went from there. I mean, the driving experience is fantastic. This car is way ahead of its time with the four-wheel steering, all-wheel drive, twin turbo. I mean, it also has 320 horsepower, which back in 1995 was almost unheard of. I mean, now, of course, it's, nothing. But, I mean, the car was ahead of its time.
Now, what advice could you give to practically anybody, really, looking for that dream car, that maybe that poster car, if you will, of their childhood, and doing the search and trying to talk with people, trying to find people? Do you do the Craigslist thing? Do you do the Facebook Marketplace? What is your best advice for those trying to seek kind of a similar background story to what you have?
My biggest advice would be don't settle. If you see something, don't jump on the first thing. If it takes 3, 6, 9, 12 months, so be it. Eventually, what you want will come up. Patience is definitely the key in something like this. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Bring a Trailer, car bids, all those are great options to look for something vintage.
Now, you mentioned the big ones, Bring a Trailer, Cars and Bids. Do you feel that those kind of websites or those kind of auction bidding platforms are helping the community or hurting it by inflating some of these prices for these rather cleaner examples of cars?
Well, a car is worth what somebody will pay for it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if somebody's willing to pay $40,000 for 1995 car that they wanted, so be it. I mean, it's kind of what the market demands.
Do you feel like as car enthusiasts, we should be trying to let others know or try to be that market pressure of saying, hey, we shouldn't be paying $100,000 for an S2000, or we shouldn't be reselling a brand new Integra Type S for $78,000?
I mean, I feel that I'm not one to tell people what to do with their money.
Of course, yeah.
So, I mean, I feel if people really want something, they're going to pay what they want for it. And, I mean, I personally got a great deal on this, but I also did put a little work into it. So, but I mean, without, inflating the car market, I mean, it's all supply and demand. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is one of 800 made in 1995.
Wow, that's a fun fact, yeah.
So, I mean, if somebody really wants one, I mean, they're going to have to pay top dollar.
Yeah, I agree. Now, let's go back. You mentioned high school. This was kind of a poster car for you. What else do you have at the house? And what kind of made you a car enthusiast?
Well, my wife just drives a regular SUV, and then, I just have a normal, daily driver car. So nothing fancy. Most of the time this sits in the garage and just comes to car shows and stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of where it's at right now. But, just owning this car really made me learn a lot about it, made me learn a lot about turbos, boost, just like the regular maintenance that you do on cars like this.
Yeah. And so what kind of made you that car enthusiast from that young age?
Oh, just seeing the car, see how cool it looked, the curvatures, the speed, and my son's already taken after me.
I love that. I love hearing that. Good. That's what we need in our generation, right? Just a couple more questions. Could you describe, owning a 20-plus-year-old car? What are some things that, owners should be looking for? What should they always do? What should be on their checklist?
Well, you'll definitely get the, especially with cars like, this and has a lot of hoses, fluid, stuff like that. You'll come out one day and you'll see something new leaking. You'll be like, oh, God. what is it now, and then you'll finally get to that point where all that's fixed, I can't stress enough on the regular maintenance intervals, like a 60K maintenance interval, 120K maintenance interval.
Timing belt, stuff
yes,
like that.
I cannot stress the importance of that enough.
I agree. Yeah, I have my daily is a 2000 Frontier, 241,000 miles. And I think that those maintenance intervals, like you mentioned, are absolutely crucial to keeping that going another 100,000 miles and so on and so forth. Last question. You've been a wonderful interview. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate this car and what you have. You got VIP parking front and center.
When I pulled in, they're like, oh, park up here.
There you go. Last question. California wants to transition to electrification in the next 15 to 20 years. I always ask this to everybody, but what are your thoughts of electric cars and kind of the future of the car culture?
I mean, I don't understand why the electrification became very political, because I think they are cool cars. They are. The infrastructure is not anywhere close to being able to support that.
I agree.
Not anywhere close. Do I think there's a place for them? Absolutely. If you're a daily driver and just going to and from work, maybe 50 miles a day, I think it's a perfect option.
But yeah, like you said, when did it become political? And, we'll have to see where the goalposts lie. I, for one, am not trying to get rid of my gasoline-powered cars anytime soon, but we'll have to definitely see. And I hope that the enthusiasts can align where they need to align and not create such a divide like you're mentioning.
Exactly.
But I appreciate your time. Is there any shout-outs, thank yous, anything that you wanted to give? Go ahead and do so now.
Just a shout out to my son, Anthony, for braving the heat today and coming out with me.
It's going to be a tough one. It's a tough one right now. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Take care.